Alright, I am back again. It's the day after the debate. First debate. Yeah. I did not do a debate prediction video for two reasons. One, I tried to do a video on the situation with Boogie2988, which I have since deleted. I did find out when it got a little rambly, and two, I did find a little additional information that kind of invalidated some of the things I was saying upon a deeper dive into the laws in that particular state, Arkansas. So I did, until I, one, do more research into it, and two, I get more information, period, including seeing the whole video of the shooting incident, I do not feel comfortable doing a video on it. But the other thing is, it's a good thing I did not try to do a debate prediction specific video, because, dear God, there is no one alive could have predicted that kind of a shit show. And I believe I did a video on Monday, which was 2 days, or Sunday, whatever, before the debate. I did say, hey, this is what you want. Basically, in that video, if I remember correctly, and if I actually uploaded it, because for some reason lately I've been doing videos, I just don't feel comfortable uploading. Like my gut tells me don't do it, so I don't. But I've been saying for a while, and I believe I added it to the end of the video. Basically, if you walked into it as a Trump supporter, you were going to come out thinking Trump won. If you walked in as a Biden supporter, you were going to think Biden won. And there wasn't going to be a whole lot of middle ground. And I've seen a good bit of it. There's a lot of people who followed that mantra quite well. There's a lot of people who just were not impressed with either one of them. Personally, I would like to remind you, you could have had a third voice like Jo Jorgensen, who's an actual psychiatrist who could have helped diffuse that situation. But she was excluded from the polls that she would have needed to get in the debate. And ultimately, it was not a debate. The moderator did not have control. The moderator actually wound up jumping into the fray. And I did get the feeling that there was a certain degree of bias coming out in the moderator. He was not impartial. Chris Wallace was not impartial. There was a time earlier on in which Trump actually said, oh, it looks like I'm debating two people, or something to that effect. And there are times it did feel like that, quite frankly. But in the end, I don't know. Like I said, there's a lot of people who walked in there being firm Trump supporters who actually said, I'm not impressed with his behavior. Biden supporters saying I was not impressed with their behavior. Yeah. And to illustrate this, I will put a link to a tweet by Andrew Yang, who is a former presidential candidate for the Democrats, who's been jockeying for a position in the Biden administration. And he said, I feel like, and I quote, I feel like Joe won. It feels like America lost. Or I think America won. Or I think Joe Biden, let me get this correct. Quote, I think Joe won. it feels like America lost, end quote. And I think there's a lot of people fitting that summarization. Only they're like, my guy won, but America lost. I was putting the link everywhere I could to Rodney Crowell's Nobody Wins. There were a lot of times where the moderator just lost control. And there were some unanswered questions by both. The biggest ones, Biden blatantly refused to answer if he would support packing the Supreme Court, adding justices to the Supreme Court. There were a few other times I noticed he sidestepped the answer, or sidestepped the question. I don't remember them because after about 10-15 minutes in, I had a splitting headache. The Advil PM didn't even help. Most notably from Trump, he refused to denounce the white supremacist groups. He did a fair bit of sidestepping. He said that they were not really in play. It was more Antifa at this point, blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's pretty bold talk from someone who did an executive order just last week stating the KKK would be considered a hate group or a terrorist organization. I forget the exact wording at this point. It's early. But he refused to say that directly. There was just a bunch of back and forth telling the other one to shut up. There was one where Trump got a zing in. You did nothing for over 40 years, and Biden responded, you're the worst president ever. That was the bulk of it. And I did send a tweet to them both. Yes, I am on the tweeter. And I did send a message to them both stating, yeah, best be glad it was Chris Wallace who was the moderator. If it had been me, I would have taken a belt to your backsides and given you a timeout. It was just literally no one that I saw on Facebook, no one on my Facebook, no one on my Twitter was really happy with the performance of either of them. The closest, I know one person who's very strongly anti-Trump, a never-Trumper through and through. And even they said, I feel like Biden is the better person, the better human being. But they weren't impressed at all. And it's like, I think even they agree that we need someone else. Neither of them really are fit to hold the office. All I gotta say is I picked a fine year not to become a chain-smoking alcoholic. And in closing, giant asteroid 2020. It's our only hope. Let me know what you think. Do you feel like I'm being a little over dramatic on this? Or was it really that bad? Later.